The idea for this video came after me and a friend were discussing what makes a game good. While the argument started with why P03 was a good game, despite not being perceived as such by many, we applied the argument onto movies. When you think of movies that have become a cult classic, you may think of Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, or the example that my friend gave, 2001 A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. If you're a classic film fan, you probably enjoy those movies. They are regarded as masterpieces by many critics for so many different reasons. Citizen Kane for the techniques and its boldness, and 2001 A Space Odyssey for its vision. But at the time, you either loved them or hated them. Even if you were to play those films today, a lot of people may not enjoy them. And it's not because they can't appreciate masterpieces, it's because those films can feel very long and dragging. Going back to my friend, his argument is that something can be very good if you have the right attitude for it. If you play Battlefield the way you play Call of Duty, chances are that you will not have fun, because it's an incompatible game style. The same way, if you go and watch Crazy Rich Asians and expecting Jason Statham to start killing some fools, you'll be disappointed. It's just not going to happen. But he says that if you tell that person the best way to enjoy a game or film, the person can then realize it's very good. For example, if you tell a person that you have to play Battlefield slowly and watch Crazy Rich Asians expecting a romance, then you'll enjoy those more. Now, here is where I disagree. A game or a movie or any storytelling media should tell you how to enjoy it. If you are watching Air Bud and in the middle of the movie a Russian mobster shoots the dog and suddenly the little boy wants revenge and grows up to be John Wick, you'd think, what? Why? The movie then becomes confusing. Take the Cloverfield Paradox for example. It was a mess. The Cloverfield Paradox was originally going to be a completely unrelated movie and would have been named God Particle. If you've seen the movie, this makes sense. But when it was transitioned under the Cloverfield banner, things got very messy. It almost felt like several scripts were thrown into the same plot. The film failed to create an environment where we could see character responses in a believably naturalistic manner, like we did in 10 Cloverfield Lane. It ended up being a standard generic space horror panic with no real conflict. The Cloverfield Paradox failed to find its touch. Every form of art, for it to be good, it has to make you feel something. Let's take paintings for example. Most paintings are good because something about them calls your attention and makes you feel something. They portray an emotion. Let's take The Scream by Edward Munch. When you take a glance at the painting, you can feel the anguish and fear the person in the canvas is feeling. Munch manages to transmit those feelings without someone having to tell you, maybe this person is scared of something. Just maybe. You can clearly tell the person is in distress. You can enjoy or get bored with a movie because of many things, but the movie has to tell you the best way to enjoy it. If it's an action film, if it's a romance, or if it's a comedy, it has to tell you. Yes, films mix genres a lot, and I'm not denying how good it can look. The suspense it can bring, leaving you on the edge of the seat because it showed a plot twist that you just didn't expect, or that you did expect it, but you really didn't want it because you've connected with the character. But in any way, the film has to be clear of what it wants to be. If someone has to tell you how to enjoy a film or a game, the writers aren't doing something right. It may not take artistic merit of the movie or game, like Citizen Kane or 2001 A Space Odyssey, but it has to know what it wants to transmit. I want to stress that this is my opinion and you don't have to agree. If you have anything to say, please do leave a comment. Also, the friend I mentioned earlier is also part of Split Screen and has recently made an analysis on how gameplay can be used to show the main character's traits instead of always using cutscenes. Go check it out. Thanks a lot for watching.